Hello world, and welcome back to another Mekanism tutorial, where today we're going to be covering everything to do with the QIO storage system. As always, if this video helps you out in any way, shape or form, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe and ring the bell button for more tutorials in the future. So to get started, of course, we're going to actually need the QIO drive itself, the drive array. That is where everything begins. And if you want to know what QIO stands for, just look in here. It is the Quantum Item Orchestration System. It's very, very long, but we're going to stick with the QIO. So in order to build the QIO drive, we're first going to need to get 2 ultimate control circuits, 4 of these polonium pellets, 1 glass pane, a personal chest, as well as a teleportation core, as this is all completely wireless, this system. It's very, very powerful. Now you only get 1 of these per craft, but that's okay. You will probably only need 1 for a very long time, especially if you're in that early stages of a late game. Now next, to actually go inside of your drive, you're going to need to get a actual drive itself to go in the drive array. The first drive is what you have to make first, because all the other drives actually use this level 1 drive first. You see here you got this sort of like little chipset bullet looking thing. That's how you know what level it is. But anyway, well, this is going to require 4 lead, 4 ultimate control circuits and 1 polonium in the center, and again you only get 1 of these. But here you can see that you can store up to 16,000 items, and you can store 128 different types of items. So if you've got a grass block and a dirt block and a bit of stone, that would be 3 different types. Moving on, you're going to need a way to actually get things to go in and out of your system that is a little bit more automatic, not just manual. So first we have the QIO importer. This is what is going to bring items into your system. This is going to require a teleportation core, 2 lead ingots, 2 polonium pellets, an ultimate control circuit, and a sticky piston. It must be a sticky piston. Now this gives you just 1 importer. Now to get things out of your system, you're going to need to do a very similar craft, but it's going to be using a regular piston, not a sticky piston. So that's 2 lead, 2 polonium pellets, 1 ultimate control circuit and a teleportation core, and a regular piston. This is going to give you the exporter. It's the only difference between the two. And then finally, to actually look inside of your disk array, you are going to need to get the QIO dashboard. This is going to require another teleportation core, 2 lead ingots, 3 polonium pellets, 4 lead ingots, and 1 glass pane. This gives you just 1 of your dashboards. So the first thing we want to do is place down our QIO drive array. Now inside of here you can see that we do not have any drives in here installed as of yet, and as well as that, this machine also does not need power. You do not need to power it in any way, shape or form. Now the first thing we're going to do is set a frequency. You can have this as a public frequency, so that means everyone on the server can see it, although we're on single player, so obviously it's fine for ourselves, or you can have a private server, that means only you can see it. So we'll keep it on public for now, and let's make a lovely frequency here called subscribe. I think that would be a good one if I could learn to type. And now you can see that this is the light blue frequency. What we can do is actually change this. How about we have a yellow frequency? And something else we can do is also make another frequency as well. Now this is the blue frequency. As you can see, we're now set to the how-ho frequency. You can change that color as well. So whichever one you skip to, that drive is going to see different things now. So you can have one drive in here and you can all be set differently. Now something that I really urge you to do first, now I don't know why, is that you want to set your frequency before you put any drives in here. It's very strange, but you have to do that, otherwise things will not work. So set your frequency first before you put any drives in here. Now, just as a precaution, we're also going to set our dashboard up. So if you go to the QIO dashboard here, you can see it's all grayed out. And what we want to do is change our frequency to subscribe. We want that on the yellow drive. We'll check up here. This is also on the yellow frequency. In fact, what we're going to do very quickly is just going to delete this other one so we don't get confused. So inside of the drive, you can see it's no longer grained out. There's a couple of things you can do in here. You can search once there are some items at the top here. You can also sort your items by name, count, or mod in ascending order or descending order. And you can also change the height of your interface if you really want to. I'm going to keep it on the max height because that's what I like to do. Now, what we need to do is actually get ourselves a drive. We're going to get our level 1 drive, which we've just shown how to make, and we'll place this inside of here. Now, if we get ourselves, say, a stack of dirt, what we can do is just place this inside. Now, If you run into the issue that when you go to place your item inside it doesn't place in straight away, just try removing your drive and putting it back inside. So that is something that I've had happen to me, is where I've made my drive, I've put my new drive in here, and then I've set a frequency and it just for some reason breaks. You're going to have to take out your card and then put it back in for it to work again. It's very, very strange, but that's just what it is and how it works. So now we have 64 dirt in here. Now this is fine. You can use this as how you want it now. You can just start placing items as much as you want and taking them out. It all works as usual with a chest. How you can, if you right click, you take out half. If you control, you take it all out. You can shift click and stuff. It makes a lot of sense, but obviously it only does it as stacks at a time. If you're shifting out or any items that have more than, let's say, a stack. So we have 128. If we shift right click out, we only get one stack. Shift left click, sorry. But how about we now try and get things in and out of our system, but wirelessly? This is where we're going to need to use our importers and exporters. So first, let's take our importer here. We'll slap it on the side of this chest. It doesn't matter what side it is, and we'll first connect it to a frequency, just like we do with everything else. Also, you'll know if it's connected correctly when you'll see that the machine is now turning yellow. Now, if you have seen our digital miner episode, you know a little bit about these tags, but if you don't, there's a couple of things we can do. What we're going to start off with is by placing dirt into this chest. We'll just put a load all around. It doesn't have to be all stacks. Now, if you just want everything going into your drive, something you can very simply do is do import without filter, turn that on, and all the items have gone straight into the system, and it's very, very quick. Now, the reason it's only very, very quick is because it wasn't full stacks. If we make everything in here full stacks, you can see that I can't even get a chance to do full stacks because it's pulling out the items so very, very quickly. It's very, very fast. And we now have 502 dirt in our system. But something else you can do is actually put on filters. So if I now take a little bit of stone from here and we'll turn this filter off. If we go to here, take our stone, save that, we can now see we have an item filter of stone. Very, very cool and very, very simple. Now, if we put any dirt in here, it will not be pulled out even though it's still connected. It's only going to be pulled out once we start putting stone in here, because that is the filter we've put in. As you can see, there's now 64 stone. Very, very nice. Now, something else we can also do in here is do things with tags. Now, tags are something a little bit more robust. It takes a little bit more effort. So something we can get here is a dictionary. Now, a dictionary we have shown up before, so I will very quickly just show you how to make it here. It's literally a book and a basic control circuit. And what it will do is if you right click on something in the world, it will tell you in the chat its tags. So we can see that we've got forge, storage _ blocks / steel. That is that's the exact code for this block. But if we look at it again, if we stop before the steel or stop before the / we can see that we get a whole range. This also works with things like dirt. You can see we've got forge dirt there in the corner, just here. And then you can do this with other things such as ores. So something that I know is something you can do is if you go in tags here, if you type in forge ores with an S and click save, you'll see that it's going to go through every single forge ore that is in the game. And that means the only things that are going to work in here now, it doesn't matter what items it is, it's only actually going to do ores. So if I get ourselves here some iron, what we can do is get a whole stack of iron ore and it's immediately going to zip it into our system. Very, very neat. Something else you can also do is if you hold F3 and H, that can turn your hidden advanced tooltips on. So if I show it in here now, if we go inside, you can see that it tells you a little bit here, like this one's immersive engineering plates _ iron. If we hold control, it now tells you all the different tags. So you've got item tags, that's forge plates. You can also see if we go for something more vanilla, we can see that we've got forge ores / iron, but you can also see a lower level thing like at the very top, Minecraft iron _ ore. So you can get very, very in-depth with tags. It's something for a more advanced system if you want to filter very, very specific things but still a wide range. If you just want to do that very specific tags like the stone here, then I would recommend just do your item stack, taking it in one thing at a time, everything that you want to filter. Now, something else that is very strange here is that I've got this button on, but you can see that nothing is actually going. That's because I believe that everything needs to be deleted from inside of here as well for it to work. As you can see, it just started zipping things away. I believe if you have some sort of tag, I believe this is more for a tool. If we say yes now to a shovel and then import without filter, I think what it will mean is if we have loads of different types of durability on your tools, then if you do import without the filter, it means it will still do the tool, but it won't do everything else. So if we take some iron in here now, as you can see, it won't go, but if we take ourselves the shovel will go, because we've got the tag and we're importing without filter, meaning the durability doesn't matter. If you want to do fully everything, you must delete everything first and do with import without filter for everything to go through. But now let's have a look what we've got inside. We've got quite a few different items. How about we now work on getting them out? This is when we're going to need our exporter. So we're going to place that on here, and we're of course going to put it onto our frequency, and at the moment nothing is happening. Now this is where things can get very, very dangerous. If I flick the switch now, what it's going to do is just going to start sucking everything out of our system. So you don't really want to put this thing on unless obviously you want everything to come out. It's a little bit strange, but that's just the way it works. So I'll put that back in there. What it is, everything else is going to be the exact same. The tags and everything is all the exact same, except it's just going to be pulling things out of your system instead of putting it in. Very, very simple. Basically, you could use this to put it on the side of a furnace and it'll automatically put in ores to be smelted. Something like that. Very, very simple. Literally the opposite of the importer. Now there's a couple of cool items that you can actually use when using this QI drive. Now this QIO portable dashboard is something that's going to be very, very handy. First, you're going to need obviously a QIO dashboard. You're going to need 7 of your polonium pellets and 1 teleportation core. This core is going to give you your portable QIO dashboard. Now what this is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a portable version of your system. So if we open it up, we set our frequency, and now when we look inside we can see everything. Now surprisingly enough, this does not have a range. You can go as far as you want, and for whatever reason it just still works. You don't have to do any sort of relays anywhere, you don't have to boost a signal or anything. It just works. And also it works in other dimensions. So if we went to the nether, we can see that it would still work there. Another cool item that we can use with the QIO system is the QIO Redstone Adapter. It's made very similar to the exporter and importers, and this is going to require 1 redstone torch, 1 redstone dust, 2 ultimate control circuits, a teleportation core, and 4 polonium pellets. And I only get 1 of these per craft, but this is a very, very powerful device, or it can be used very powerfully. We can place this anywhere in the world, it does not matter where it is, and we'll set it to a frequency of subscribe. Now inside of here we can see that there is an undefined item. What we can use is, let's get some dirt. We know there's a lot of dirt in the system. We can place that in there. You can say, look, we have 577 dirt that is inside of this system. Now if we place down a little bit of redstone, we can see that it's emitting a redstone signal. Now the reason it's emitting a redstone signal is because we have a trigger count of 0. That means if there's 0 or more amount inside of our system, this will emit a redstone signal. So what we can do is, if we change this to 578 and then hit our little plus, we can see that it has not reached the trigger amount. No more. There needs to be a certain amount for this to work. So what we could do is have this set up on a miner, say, oh yeah, keep mining, and then once it reaches a certain amount, turn it off. We do not want any more until it's been processed. So then you could maybe have a smelting system going, and say all the ores are going smelted through, but then you end up digging so many ores that things start getting clogged up. The miner will not start up again until the count has gone below the signal required. So now if we go into our importer here, let's get a little bit more dirt, and you can see already the redstone signal is gone up because there's now enough of the trigger count inside. Now you can't type in any words down here, it can only be numbers. These are your trigger numbers, and as you can see you can do it for quite a lot. That must be the total amount that you could do in total. Yes, so 2 billion of something is the most you can actually do. Now if you wanted to reset this to a different item, if you hold shift and left click, that will get rid of the item and then you can do it for something else. We are definitely never getting that amount of iron though. Now the last thing I want to show you is how you actually upgrade your drives. Each different tier is going to require the previous tier, so first you must get 4 of the level 1 QIO drives. Then you can get the hyper dense QIO drive. The hyper dense QIO drive is also using 4 lead ingots and a diamond in order to upgrade. You only get 1 of these per 4. You can see where this is probably already going. Now the hyperdense drive can hold 128,000 different items, and 126 different types of items, which is a very, very big upgrade for just getting 4 of these, considering this is 16, 30, so this is 64. By the time you've mashed it all together, it's double, so it's very, very powerful there. Next, we've got the time dilating QIO drive. This is going to require 4 of the high dense drives, 4 lead and an emerald. Again, this is going to give us only 1. This allows us to hold 1,048,000 different items and 1,024 different types of items. And lastly, and the most powerful, is the supermassive QIO drive. This is going to require 3 of the time dilating drives, 4 lead again, and this time antimatter. Now, we showed antimatter when we were making ourselves our supermassive majigger over there. Now, this thing, again, you're only going to get 1, but it can hold 16 million different items and 8,192 different types. So if you get one of these, you're probably only going to need one of these for a very, very long time, unless you have absolutely stupid amount of storage and mining going off at once. Now, surprisingly, that is actually everything when it comes to the QIO drive. There is nothing else except for expanding. You can make this thing as big as you want, and you can make it go as far as you want. It's very, very powerful, but also a little bit of mid-game to late game, especially when you get to these super massive drives here with the antimatter. But until next time, guys, if this video helped you out in any way, shape or form, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and ring the bell button for more Mekanism tutorials, as there's only a little bit left for me to show you before this series is completely finished. But until next time, guys, take care.